great to listen to the band as they do such a great job all the time. You know, in the hearts and minds of veterans, 2 days every year carry special significance. Memorial Day in May and Veterans Day in November. On the former, we focus on honoring those lost in service to our nation. On the latter, today, we focus on all who have or are serving our country. Therefore, our purpose on this 11th day of the 11th month at the 11th hour is to recognize and honor the millions of American veterans who have preserved for us our freedoms, our rights, and the way of life that we cherish. You know, our first cohort of American veterans was forged in 1776. Succeeding generations of Americans have swelled those ranks considerably. Raising a hand and swearing an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, innumerable Americans followed in the footsteps of those who led the way. Consider, if you will, just a moment, that 25 years ago, American servicemen and women were standing in the blistering sands of Southwest Asia. 60 years ago, American servicemen and women were standing in the sweltering jungles of Southeast Asia. 75 years ago, American servicemen and women were in the mountainous terrain of the Korean Peninsula. And 80 years ago, 80 years ago, American servicemen and women were serving both aboard ship and on coral reefs across the entire Pacific Ocean, as well as in the hedgerows and the valleys and the hills of Western Europe. In the years and decades, both preceding and following those that I just mentioned, American servicemen and women have traveled to every continent, every country, literally every corner of the earth on behalf of our country and our way of life. Generation upon generation of American servicemen and women, distinguishable not by race, nor by religious belief, nor by gender, nor by political affiliation, distinguishable only by that common bond that drew and continues to draw Americans to serve our nation. And that is a deep love of the United States of America. Our country is a peace-loving nation. Only reluctantly have we committed our sons and daughters into dangerous situations, but unfortunately, we've had to do so. Every serviceman and woman who raised their hand and swore the oath with which we are all familiar knew that danger might lay ahead and that sacrifice might be required. The swearing of that oath was their first step in their transformation into that special class of citizen, an American veteran. As each subsequent generation of American veterans has stood and performed its duty, it has done so with the hope that succeeding generations would not have to do so. Sadly, we have not seen the last generation of American veterans. Our world is and will continue to be a dangerous one. However, there is no need to despair, because there is no doubt in my mind that young Americans will continue to swear that oath and perform their duty with honor for our country. And as they do so, they will continue a tradition of commitment that began in 1776. Permit me to share just a slight personal perspective. And I developed this over 30 plus years in the uniform of our country. I have never met a veteran who expected my respect. But more importantly, I have never met a veteran who did not deserve my respect. As you leave today, I ask that you look around on this day of freedom and look for one of the veterans that's out there. You'll be able to tell who they are. And that's because in their eyes you will see two things. You'll see a very dim, but at the same time bright glint of pride for their service. And it will be offset with just the trace of a tear for those comrades who made the ultimate sacrifice. I ask you, grasp that veteran's hand today, look into that veteran's eyes and say, thank you for your service. And tonight, when you lie down and you get ready to close your eyes to go to sleep, fear not, for a new generation of American veterans are on duty. Thank you very much.